U.S. Senator Michael Bennet says Colorado can become a national model that provides upward mobility for all its citizens, and he wants to lead that charge as the state's next governor. You're watching the Local News Network, brought to you by Durango Gelato Coffee and Tea and M&R Plumbing. I'm Zach Marquardt. Democratic Senator Michael Bennet fielded questions from a friendly audience about health care, the economy, tariffs, and Texas gerrymandering during his Southwest Colorado town hall at Fort Lewis College on August 5th. But one question kept surfacing. Why would Bennet, a three-time senator who has been an effective Democratic voice for Colorado, choose to run for governor? He maintains that Colorado can lead the nation by example to counter what he called the Trump administration's assault on the Constitution and the nation's democratic principles.
We need to double down in the present. And we need to push back in the present as hard as we can to preserve those institutions and protect those institutions. And I think Colorado can be a beacon for all 50 states on that question. I think that we can be a vision, we can provide a vision for all 50 states from here that shows the country how a democratic republic can actually function. It can educate our children. It can propel people economically from circumstances of poverty into the middle class.
Bennet also decried efforts by the Texas state legislature to redraw its congressional district map to favor Republicans during the 2026 midterm elections.
It is just appalling. It's like, the system that Trump is breaking, these guys in Texas have now found a way to even break it further. I really fundamentally believe that that people should pick who their politicians are, not the other way around.
In an interview with the Local News Network, Bennet said the questions posed at the Durango Town Hall reflected the concerns that many of his constituents have expressed.
I think the overarching theme is just the concern that people have of Donald Trump's willingness to break our democracy, concerns about the economy, which people are already struggling with, and they see their costs go up as a result of what the Trump administration is doing. So, and I just think an overarching concern about whether or not we're going to get out of this period. And I think the answer to that is we will, but we're going to have to struggle to do it. And that's been true of what Americans have had to do from the very beginning of our country, and that's what we have to do today.
As he travels across Colorado during the congressional recess, Bennet says he's urging voters to get involved now to ensure that the Democrats can win the 2026 midterm elections.
And I mentioned how critical I think it is for us to flip the House in the next election, and that starts now by organizing and going to House parties and meeting together on the weekend to make sure we're preparing for the work that has to be done.
Bennet most likely will face Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser in a Democratic primary battle for governor. For more information about elections and voter registration, visit the La Plata County Clerk's website. And for similar news stories, visit durangolocal.news. Thanks for watching. I'm Zach Marquardt.